Hello and welcome to my podcast on sustainability crisis. I'm your host Sandeep Iranti. I hope you're doing well. Today's episode is a little different than my usual ones. This is about something that almost all of us have questioned ourselves at some point in our sustainability journey, that is there anything else happening in our lives that we are missing to take action to be more sustainable? And we wish we knew it earlier so that we could have taken action much earlier, right? But our modern lives are so disconnected from production to consumption. Sometimes we do not even know what to look for. So this is the first episode of the series that find and explore all those invisible things in our lives that are very tricky to notice. And today's topic is helium. And you might be wondering, what does helium has to do with sustainability, right? Well, for me personally, sustainability is not just about climate and environment, but about everything and anything humans as a civilization has to do with. And today I want to talk about why helium consumption may not be sustainable. Although helium is the second most abundant element in the universe and also in our solar system after hydrogen, it is quite the opposite on Earth. And helium is actually a byproduct of extracting natural gas, and also helium is a non-renewable resource because helium cannot be created in a lab like hydrogen does. Helium is an inert gas and very stable, and it is actually created in stars due to fusion reaction, occurring naturally. And this is why helium is very abundant in the universe but not on the surface of Earth. Helium is used in many applications like medical devices like MRIs, and also in space industry, and also in manufacturing for welding purposes. But most of us are familiar with helium balloons, right? We all have been there where helium balloons have made us think about the laws of physics by magically floating away, and it would be a shame if we stop using helium balloons in the name of sustainability, right? But what matters is being conscious about it and try to avoid helium balloons when we can, and not to mention those balloons that fly away and eventually drop into a river or a sea and contaminating them eventually. Until those times, we are either able to create helium ourselves by fusion reaction, which is very unlikely, or tap into the sun and collect it for free, which is also very unlikely to happen, I guess. I would say we need to use helium responsibly, or invent a new technology to fly our balloons that are biodegradable in the water bodies. So, should we entirely stop using helium balloons? Well, they are certainly very fun to use and also sparks imagination in many young minds. Sometimes being sustainable is very tricky, especially when the impact of that action is significantly small. But this is what gives us the power to choose and come up with innovative solutions even for the world's smallest problems. That brings us to the end of another podcast. Please do share your comments via email or direct message as always. And I'm also open for dialogue if you may be interested in. Think innovative, think sustainable. And as always, if you have been listening, thank you so much for tuning in.